This reminds me of my high school commencement. I didn't have one. 7 years ago, I hated high school so much that I decided I'd rather leave and pursue my education on my own than stick it out in that special circle of hell. I finished my sophomore year with all A's and then didn't go back, starting a new chapter of my life as a high school dropout. I was very privileged to have the resources to support that sort of independence as a teenager. And I'm glad I took advantage of them. I found that there's a difference between showing up physically and showing up mentally, and I had been unhappily coasting on the former for a while. All of a sudden, I wanted both. I needed them in order to change my life, despite the terror and uncertainty and some very concerned family members. Somehow, dropping out taught me how to show up for myself. It was rough in the beginning. I was used to someone being there to grade me or tell me what class to go to next. I had to first figure out who I wanted to be, what I really wanted to do with my time, and how I would get the help to make it happen. The answers led me here. 5 years, 2 universities, and 1 pandemic later, and now I'm leaving school again. But this time with a diploma. I'm really happy about that. I'm also more scared than I was the first time, which is saying something. I know I'm not the only one to feel this way, though, especially given the present circumstances. But it is time to face that terrifying transitional void. And I do feel more ready than I was in high school. After all, we will continue to be informed by our time at Cornish and the decision to earn this degree. And not just any old BS degree, but a Bachelor of Fine Arts. That alone takes a special sort of showing up for yourself, something I didn't always do. When it came time to start college, I signed up for a degree in geology instead of my true love of acting, because of some self and society-imposed perceptions of practicality. It took a year of missing my favorite thing for me to come to my senses and throw out everyone else's. Then I found Cornish, a place made for people like me. Storytellers, the ones who couldn't sit still or the ones who couldn't be dragged away from their canvas. Peter Pan kids who wanted to play pretend forever. And most of all, people who found meaning in creating. I ran to that, and thus came crawling back to the art that had always sustained me. But this time with determination. A determination that everyone watching this has. We all made a choice about what was important for us, what was important for the world, and how those two would meet. We showed up every day for that choice, and in turn, others made the choice to help us. Let's thank the ones who have truly given us the most at Cornish. Our teachers. Cornish has some of the finest faculty anywhere. They are the backbone, the torso, the head and arms and knees and toes of this school. And they are the shoulders we have scrambled up to stand on now. If there's one thing I learned both in and out of school, it's that we will always need teachers. And if we continue to be students, no matter how many degrees we may have, we'll always be able to find them in all sorts of different places, times, and people. It's a good idea to reach out to those people, though it is harder without office hours. But it's worth the extra effort. Life isn't meant to be figured out all by yourself. Independence does not mean isolation. We are moving into a world that is currently incredibly divided and distant, and leaving a school where everyone is connected. There's only like 700 students. We're connected whether we like it or not. The rest of the world could use a bit of that. And while quarantine makes it especially hard right now, nothing connects people better than art. And of course we've got that. I've seen so many incredible shows, galleries, films, and more at Cornish. But I haven't seen the hundreds of drafts that have happened first inside of these classrooms, or the glorious failures, setbacks, and sleep-deprived desperation that naturally accompany them. I once thought I'd be studying rocks. Instead, I've been graded on how well I could imitate a harbor seal, so I have no idea what sort of crazy shit everyone else must have gotten up to. I'm keeping the notes from those lessons, because they are what shaped all of this passion into something skilled enough to reach outside of my own head and truly connect with the world. And isn't that a little bit the point of it all? Showing up with your stories to help others build theirs. I'm honored I got to be a part of some of your stories, and I am so grateful for everyone who was a part of mine. I miss you guys. I'm sorry we're not walking across a stage together, shaking the hands of our teachers and celebrating with our friends. We've more than earned that. But I know that while a cap and gown is nice, the important part of commencement is you. This pandemic cannot take away our reason to celebrate. It does not erase our accomplishments. It does not undo our years of learning and the things we've created and the people we've become. After all, we made it! Throughout the long, however much insecurity, confusion, and crying in the hallways this journey has had, throughout the long years and even longer department meetings, despite a whole pandemic, we made it. And I could not be more proud of us. I don't pretend to know what's next for myself, much less anyone else. Whatever happens, I hope we can do it without any can'ts or shoulds getting in the way. I hope we don't do it alone. I hope that we approach challenges and opportunities alike with creativity. I hope we think outside of the box, and I hope it gets weird. I hope that we step up to proudly take our lives into our own hands, because no other institution or person is going to do it better. I say I hope as if we haven't already done this, but obviously we have. That's why we all have a BFA now. We didn't give up. We showed up.